Hey, everybody, and welcome. Big aloha. I'm Natalie, and this is Life After a Cult, the channel where we expose cult nonsense, we laugh at the absurdity, and hopefully unbrainwash ourselves in the process. I am doing a Scientology recap from Hawaii. And today we're going to look at what you get when you have Aaron Smith-Levin standing next to a literal erupting volcano while Scientology itself is imploding back home. It is a lava hot mess of culty chaos. We've got some hypocrisy coming up here. Great story about that. Leaked audio. We've got all of the things here. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, moderators, for being here. And thank you to everybody in the live chat. If you're on the replay, join us. Put your questions in there. And aloha to you as well. Sandy McKenna's even here. And Sandy is on a road trip. We have the lovely Farrell Cheryl, who's also sitting next to me. So great to see you. Hey, Abigail. Welcome, everybody. As you're coming in, if you could do me a solid and hit that like button so we can get out more notifications, that'd be great. We're going to do a bit of a Scientology recap, and then I'm going to share some stuff about the trip as well. Thank you so much, Don Glove, for that reminder there. I have missed all of you. This is the first, well, maybe this is the second. No, this is the first actual recap I've done since being here. I've done some other content. But absolutely, this is the first one. Hey, Force of Delightful Nature. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Rochelle. I think we'll grab some people at other times. So here in Hawaii, it is 9 o'clock in the morning right now. Hey, Tony Hoban. Good to see you. Jersey Jan. I feel like it's a reunion. It's been way too long. So I'm going to jump into some Scientology news, and we will keep getting caught up. And if you have any questions about Hawaii or our trip, let me know. And I'll grab those as well. We got Nancy here starring some questions. All right, so first we got to talk about, there was this video that was on the damage report. Some of you might be familiar with the damage report. I wasn't familiar, but someone sent me the clip and now I am. And of course, my interest is what they say about Scientology. So we're going to take a look at this and we are going to discuss it because it's not completely accurate, but let's see here. I haven't done this for a week and now I'm like, what is the button that I push? Here we go. All right, let's listen to this.
Like that whole thing where he's like, you should rank your love for others. That's not in Christianity, but it is in Scientology by L. Ron Hubbard, as illustrated in this image here. I was in a book.
Now, what he was basically saying, as I could understand, I didn't watch the entire show, but he was saying that J.D. Vance said that it's a Christian concept to love, like you have yourself first, then your family, and then your group, and then mankind. And basically he's saying, no, that's not a Christian concept. That's a Scientology concept. He goes on to explain it. But again, it's not exactly accurate, but let's watch.
A book club. And this was my book because they came out with a documentary at the same time. One book, one bottle. Everyone should do it. Everybody brings a different bottle of booze. Okay. So there's concentric circles, and then through the sexual act of family making, you make somewhat, you love the people just outside you, then you relate further and further away from you until you get to the giant flying alien infinity symbol in the sky. Everybody knows this.
I don't actually know that part, but
no, it's true.
Yeah, I love that you have that book. I Googled the one book, one bottle. I wasn't able to find it.
So basically, he's talking about the concept of the dynamics in Scientology. Look, my hair is like, I'm not even trying at this point. I just shower and then let whatever happens happen. So in Scientology, there are 8 dynamics or drives towards like survival, yourself, your family, and then groups and mankind and so on. But the thing is, L. Ron Hubbard says that one is not more important than the other. So they're not in order of the 8. I mean, there's an order, but it's not like this is the most important and then this is the next important and so on. It's just, these are what the 8 dynamics are. And the concept in Scientology is you do what is the greatest number for the greatest, you do what is the greatest good for the greatest number of these dynamics. So if it benefits yourself, your family, mankind, plants and animals, and maybe even shout out to the supreme being, it would be a good decision. Here's the problem in Scientology, the practicality of it, because in Scientology, you have what L. Ron Hubbard actually said, and then how it is actually used. And those can be the same, but sometimes they can be different. As a former Scientologist, I can tell you this. Basically, whatever is the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics for Scientology is the right answer and the only answer they will let you come to. If you try to say, leaving Scientology benefits the majority of my dynamics, which it does, that's not seen as an optimal solution or choice. It has to benefit Scientology. So that's the only thing that kind of like they didn't get totally right, was it's really more about all of these dynamics benefiting Scientology. But it was still funny. And there's been quite a few. I've got a few clips of other programs that y'all have been sending me. And thank you so much, everyone who sends me clips and articles. Remember, you send it to Natalie at lifeafteroccult.com. I really appreciate it, especially when I'm gone or traveling, because it's just harder to keep up on all of the content. And I really haven't. I'm trying to get caught up now and see what's happening, but I love it when you guys do that. And some people sent me this next clip as well, where again, Scientology is being brought up as the what not to do. And I love this. I love it so much. So many different programs and videos and platforms where if you need an example of something culty, it's Scientology. And it is just the best thing ever. So let's take a look at this next one here. This has to do with the Pope. I think this is a different one.
He said JD Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others. That's something that apparently JD Vance said.
Okay, that was you know what? I got that wrong. That was the beginning of the other clip where JD Vance says it's ranked, and then whoever show that was like, no, that's actually a Scientology thing. Hey, Julia, me and Taz is there too. Northern Girl and Marcy, it's so great to see you all. Oh, doesn't it feel like it's been a really long time? Even Itchy Thetans is here. Don Gloves. This is so great. Arkansas Flamingo. We're just getting the band back together. All right, let's pop over now. And I loved this next clip because I am fascinated with the Mormons and their love of multi-level marketing companies. It really seems, when I look at different groups or different, let's just say religions, I'm not sure there's another religion that's more into multi-level marketing than the Mormons. And there is a fabulous video out by Alyssa Grenfell. If you don't already follow her on YouTube, she does great content. And this one's called Why MLM Really Means Mormons Losing Money. And for me, it kind of answered that question of, or it answered some of my questions. I still have a ton more of why Mormons are so into multi-level marketing companies. So I'm going to play a clip. I'm going to link all this down below, along with all the other videos and articles and stuff that I'm talking about today, so you can check out the whole thing. And this is one, I feel like to really get it, you got to see the whole video. But I'm going to share a clip with you of it, and then you can go check it out later.
Welcome to my fellow girl bosses and boss babes. Today we are talking about MLMs and Mormons and why Utah is known as the scam capital of the world. Here are some videos from the last time I drove around Utah, and if you've ever driven down the I-15, which runs through Salt Lake and through Provo, you know that whether it's businesses or billboards, you see signs of MLMs essentially everywhere you go. Even when I went to Deseret Industries, which is basically the Mormon church-owned version of Goodwill, you find MLM merch and t-shirts and lunchboxes all throughout DI. According to this report, in 2022, MLMs and similar types of businesses brought in $2.7 billion of earnings for Utahns. This report also says that globally in 2022, there were $10 billion of business done in revenue. As an ex-Mormon and as someone who lived in Utah for many years, welcome to my fellow girl.
Isn't that interesting too, that if you go to their version of Goodwill, that you see all the merch from the different MLMs? And I think that's saying a lot too. I love to visit thrift shops and Goodwill when I'm visiting different cities, states, or traveling. And in part because I'm always curious, like, what is the stuff that they get rid of? And hearing that in Utah, that they actually have a whole ton of multi-level marketing swag at their version of Goodwill, I think makes a good point about it too. Hey, Damien, welcome everybody coming in. Las Vegas Nanny, good to see you. All right, now we are gonna, let's talk about this next story here. This is from Tony Ortega's blog, The Underground Bunker. You can check him out. You can subscribe. He has a free option and a paid option as well if you want to support his Substack. Fabulous content. He did an article about, so Dianetics is turning 75, May 9th, which just happened. And there is more to it than just Dianetics turning 75, of course. I'm going to pull up. We're going to pull this. Let me pull this up first here. There's a part of this specifically that I want to share with you that's not just about Dianetics. But so here, Dianetics is turning 75. Scientology's Bible endorsing child molestation since 1950. So here, of course, the gratuitous volcano and L. Ron Hubbard. And it's always been interesting to me how on the book Dianetics is the volcano, of course, and everyday Scientologists do not know about Xenu, the galactic overlord, who 75 million years ago had a problem with overpopulation on multiple planets. So he's like, hey, my dudes, just get on this plane here. I don't know what he told them to convince him, or if he just took them by force and froze them in ice cubes, took them over to Earth, dropped them in volcanoes, including here in Hawaii. And we're going to have a close-up look of that active volcano in a little bit. And then their souls came out, were attached to an electric ribbon, and these spirits attached themselves to man. So this is how we ended up with all these body thetans. And everyday Scientologists don't know this, but when you do the operating thetan levels in Scientology, you learn about the volcanoes. And it wasn't just here in Hawaii, L. Ron Hubbard, where L. Ron Hubbard claimed that Xenu dumped all of these people / alien / beings. It was other places too. I think Washington, Las Palmas, I forget the list of volcanoes. But when you're auditing this procedure in Scientology on the operating thetan levels, you actually have a list of all these volcanoes that maybe they came from. So though that is interesting, really what caught my eye was this part here. If you scroll down, there was a response from Scientology to somebody who reached out about this passage in Dianetics. The 7-year-old girl who shudders because a man kisses her is not computing. She is reacting to an engram since at 7. And an engram, for anyone new to the channel, Scientology says is a moment of recorded pain and unconsciousness. And whatever is recorded during that time, whatever you hear, see, or smell, if you hear, see, or smell those things later, that it could trigger a reaction. It would be like basically triggering you. Let's see. So she's reacting to an engram. Since at 7, she should see nothing wrong with a kiss, not even a passionate one. There must have been an earlier experience, possibly prenatal, which made men or kissing very bad. So, and he talks about this here. Tony Ortega says, Scientologists don't like that we highlighted this passage and they turn themselves into pretzels trying to explain it away. Those of us not in Scientology just can't understand the real meaning of the passage. They'll tell us when there's simply no question that L. Ron Hubbard is saying that there's nothing wrong with a 7-year-old girl who recoils from a man, though that there's something wrong. Let me start that over here. So when there's simply no question that L. Ron Hubbard is saying that there's something wrong with a 7-year-old girl who recoils from a grown man's passionate kiss. Scientology itself tried to explain it away, making the astounding claim that in 1950, the word passionate carried no sexual connotation at all. So let's let that sink in for a moment, because you guys, many of you who've been following my channels and other channels who cover Scientology know and are familiar with this passage from Dianetics that we have found to be very incredibly disturbing. And what Tony Ortega is saying is right here. There are mental gymnastics that people need to put themselves into when you're in Scientology to make this stuff make sense. Hey, Robin Miners, aloha to you as well. Jesse, good to see you. So listen to this. This is Scientology's response to this, okay? So it was a woman named Heather who wrote to them, and they say, hello, Heather. Regarding your comment, the Dianetics excerpt you reference has been purposely taken out of context by bloggers, some of which make a living attacking Scientology and twisting to imply something highly inappropriate. Okay, let's break this down here. For one, taken out of context by bloggers. Okay, like welcome to 2025 now. We are content creators. So I'm like, bloggers, okay, Scientology. Some of which make a living attacking Scientology and twisted to imply something highly inappropriate. So per Scientology, we're all just twisting around what it clearly says to me. I read it and I'm like, oh, okay, so there should be nothing wrong with a 7-year-old girl being given a passionate kiss. But if she recoils from it, it's because she has engrams earlier. Well, what about the fact that nobody should be passionately kissing a 7-year-old? But now Scientology is saying the word passionate meant something else in the 1950s. Listen to this. So people twisted it to imply something highly inappropriate with the intent of harming Scientology. And in some cases, all religions, as a percentage of them, are atheists. I don't even understand what they're saying there, and has been purposely twisted to imply something that was never implied or intended. First, let's look at the definition of passionate from Webster's dictionary. Now, by the way, Natalie Webster, there's no relation that I'm aware of to Webster dictionaries. I've always been super butthurt about that. Like, are we not related? Could I somehow be an heir to the Webster dictionaries? No, have no idea who that is. So Scientology goes on to say, look at the definition of passionate from Webster's dictionary. Passionate. And it even tells you here it's a adjective. Showing or caused by strong feelings or a strong belief. And that is the proper context. The word passionate has no sexual content, and it was not a sexual statement, and to interpret it as such is willful bias. Mr. Hubbard and the Scientology teachings support a loving, caring approach to parenting. Oh, do they? So when they had kids laying bricks on L. Ron Hubbard Way, was that caring and loving approach? Was leaving your kids at a ranch without their parents, without nurturing? Did we miss that? Is that the loving and caring approach? And this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it is. I don't need to tell you guys this. But it blows my mind that Scientology's response to something like that was to actually do some word clearing and say, you don't understand the definition of the word. This is a classic example of what happens in Scientology. Because I know a lot of you, my friends, never in Scientology, but all in on ending this cult, see this all the time. Like, how do they not see it? It gets frustrating, right? You're like, how do they not see it? Well, because of things like this. Scientology says if it seems like it's weird or odd, it's because you have misunderstood words. It's not because L. Ron Hubbard was a lunatic cult leader who had some very strange ideas about kids. No, not that at all. Exactly. And from MA, talk about taking something out of context. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, good. The Malasadas have arrived.
Oh, I see the girl light up.
That's ooh, nice. Let me show everybody. This is our breakfast this morning. Guys just got back with some Malasadas. So save one for me.
We're gonna say about 4 for you.
Yeah, 4 would be more accurate. I'm not going to pretend I'm not going to eat more than 1. All right. So anyway, that's totally crazy. I'm going to link it down below. Read the whole article because it's got some great info on the 71st anniversary too. All right, let's see. I'm going to get rid of that. Now, let's look. There's a protest that either was going on or might even still be going on right now because there's a huge time difference between the UK and Hawaii. Like I said, right now it's about 9:21 in the morning. My fingers are all sticky now. All I did was touch the box. Now I'm going to get my computer sticky. I'm just going to wipe it on my clothes. Yes, force of delightful nature. I agree. Malasadas rule. They really do. They're so good. They're amazing. Okay, so let's talk about this protest going on in the UK. It might even be done by now. It's on Apostate Alex's channel. The video is called Ex-Scientologist Protesting Tom Cruise BFI Fellowship in London. So apparently Tom Cruise is getting some kind of an award and they were out there protesting. Let's take a little peek.
Cruise is the mouthpiece for a human trafficking cult known as Scientology. So we are here with our message. It's time to end abuse. in Scientology. We are going to be here peacefully and with a clear message that Tom Cruise does not need this award. The only person that benefits from this. So we are here peacefully with our message. You can see here there's a Mission Impossible poster over there with Tom Cruise's face, and the staff are already wondering what to do about us. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Hi, Danielle. Sorry we're a few minutes late.
I would imagine they were pretty surprised. I'm going to link it down below so you can take it. You can check out the whole protest and see what happened. Yeah, Jesse, these have a ton of sugar in them. It would no doubt send your blood sugar through the roof. I don't doubt it. Yes, Sandy, Malasadas. Nothing says I love myself like starting the day with a warm, sugary Hawaiian hug. I agree. Now, y'all remember the Tommy G video that came out a few weeks ago? I think it's gotten, last time I checked, it was over 3 million views. It, of course, was about Scientology. The Tommy G interviewed Serge Del Mar, literally Serge here on YouTube, Aaron from Growing Up in Scientology, Jenna Miscavige, and he interviewed some other people as well. If you've not seen that video, it is a must watch. It was very well done. Where our friend Ricky Glaser, everybody remember Ricky? Did a reaction video to it. Ooh. And one of my most favorite things to watch is Ricky Glaser reacting to Scientology. I've had him on my channel. Gonna have him on again once I get back to Minnesota to talk more about this. But let's take a look. A little bit of a look at his reaction video, and then I will link this down below so you can see the whole thing.
Born into Scientology and is the niece of David Miscavige, the man who seized power of the church in 1987 after L. Ron Hubbard died and has ruled the church with an iron fist allegedly ever since. This is kind of like if Kim Jong-un's niece fled North Korea, lived to tell the tale, and we got to interview her.
That would be crazy. Leahy, yes, I am back in the USA, and we are back to the milk business.
Her
watching
life was tightly
Scientology.
controlled.
Everyone told me to
She
watch
endured
this video.
intense indoctrination, physical labor, and emotional manipulation. Here's what she had to say.
When I was 9 years old, I did what Scientology calls a purification rundown, where I had to be in a sauna for 5 hours a day. Yeah, and I would get like bloody noses even, but you have to keep going until you achieve whatever it is they want you to. Like you have to voice something that's the result of that program, or else you have to keep doing it, basically.
Well, my name is Serge. I grew up in Scientology.
And after surviving a period of horrific neglect as a child, the church began to groom him to be a rising star of their auditing team. Born into Scientology and is the niece of David.
Such a good video. So much info there. And like I said, Ricky Glaser's reaction to it is the best. And I'm looking forward to chatting with him more about that after I get back. Don Gloves, thank you for being a member for 10 months. I don't have my aloha button with me, but aloha. Life After a Cult should be sponsored by Malasadas. I agree with that completely. There's a Malasada truck up the road where we're staying, which is where we get them. And in my opinion, they're the best that I've had on the island.
And I got this.
Yeah, what is this?
Some kind of fruit from Maui man was selling.
A fruit from Maui. Was this at the Malasadas?
There's a fruit stand right next to it.
Oh, wow.
It's got white fleshy fruit. It's delicious. He gave me some.
Do you know what it's called?
He told me, but I forget.
Oh, cool. Well, we're going to have to try this new fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I saw a picture of this. I think Jenna showed me a picture of this. Maybe. I don't know.
It's sweet, whatever it is.
All right. So let's see here. Let's get back to work. What did we leave off on? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to skip that. Let's go over and talk about what's happening in Clearwater with the Save the Garden project. There is a news channel in Clearwater that covered it. There's been some more news coverage coming out about it. Yeah, Julia, Malasadas definitely don't help with the weight loss. I can tell you. I think I've already gained my traditional 7 pounds that I gained on this trip. All right, so let's see. Let's pull up this news article, or actually news story here. Take a look at it and see exactly. This is something we've known for a long time, and this is fantastic that even, you know, what do they call mainstream media now? Is it still mainstream? But that news is covering it.
Over $1 billion worth of property holdings. They own 75% of the land.
And that's Brooks Gibbs, who I think many of you are familiar with. He's been heading up the Save the Garden project there in Clearwater with his team. They have a whole website. You can go to SaveTheGarden.org. You can donate to help the project. There are resources. There's videos you can download to help get the word out. There are events that they're doing that are shared there. So if you go to SaveTheGarden.org, you'll find everything you need.
The land.
Okay, I think that was my favorite part right there, right? L. Ron Hubbard, who most consider to be a cult leader, and that is true. All you have to do is Google Scientology to find. That is so amazing. And what I love about this too, because remember what Scientology is proposing will involve actually closing the street. This project, what they're proposing is to still have the street open and accessible to the public. Let's see. Okay, so I think the Saturday, that would have been the May 10th event that already happened, but it's fantastic that they are covering this, and there's so much more to come. Again, just go to SaveTheGarden.org and you'll find out everything that you need to find out there. Now let's talk about some leaked audio. If you go over to Xenu TV, over to Mark Bunker, he has a little treat for us where someone leaked some audio at Scientology's most recent propaganda event. Actually, I think this was from L. Ron Hubbard's birthday. Right? Was it from L. Ron Hubbard's birthday or was it the Dianetics event? It was from the birthday event where David Miscavige is the one speaking, and he's actually talking about this project with L. Ron Hubbard Hall, and it's kind of interesting. So I'm going to pull that up and we're going to give it a little listen, and you can hear the full audio that was leaked at Xenu TV.
Yet this hall is also a living instrument, seamlessly integrated within its walls, an unseen symphony of technology.
Now, right off the bat, that was a red flag for me. Seamlessly integrated into the walls of L. Ron Hubbard Hall is going to be an unseen technology. Oh, I don't know. License plate readers, maybe facial recognition. I don't know that they define this, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm jaded. But does it not kind of like send off some red flags with Scientology saying they're going to have unseen technology within their walls? It just, to me, just screams multiple ways of violating people's privacy.
Comes to life. A state-of-the-art array of 250 precision-engineered speakers create a fully immersive three-dimensional soundscape.
I guess you need 250 speakers for Miscavige to get his message out. That seems like a lot.
Pinpoint precision, ensuring every seat is the best seat in the house. Hidden behind the sculpted wood paneling, 70-foot acoustic banners descend silently.
You notice how I feel like Scientology, their team that puts together these videos, they are the ultimate like hype people. They can make paint dry. They try to make it seem like it's the most exciting thing in the world, right? Like these acoustic panels silently drop down. Okay, so it's an event hall and you have acoustic panels. It kind of goes without saying. That's like, we have this event hall and we have doors at the front, and when you close them, they latch. I would not put that past Scientology at all. And yeah, you're right, Julia. It's so cringy to have license plate readers and facial recognition software, especially for a church. Remember that. Let's keep that in mind.
Fine-tuning reverberation times for perfect clarity. From the subtle nuances of the spoken word to the thundering rhythms of a live performance.
Thundering rhythms.
Yet for all its grandeur, this hall does not seek to be seen. It exists to guide.
Okay, so not only is L. Ron Hubbard something that just is to be seen, right? It's actually a guide. It's a guide. So they're saying L. Ron Hubbard will act as a guide. Well, remember, what do you see at every Scientology organization? You see the panels where you go and you learn about Dianetics and Scientology. Supposedly, people who see it, though, they say it still doesn't make sense to me. So flunk, fail on Scientology's part. So we can assume then that there are going to be things within L. Ron Hubbard Hall itself that will act as the guide. Because remember, Scientology doesn't trust their own people to explain Scientology or even tour people around. They actually want the terminals, the screens to do all of that. Because remember, what's the first rule in Scientology? Don't talk about Scientology. Cannot be doing that. So that's what's happening. I'm going to link it down below so you can see the whole thing. Meanwhile, we're going to run over to Hollywood, where there's been some crazy things going on outside that Hollywood testing center with Streets LA and others. So we're going to look at some stuff here. Hey, Vanessa. That's right, Sandy. It's not meant to be seen, just like accountability in Scientology. Oh, God, you're so true. That's so right. So let's take a look at Scientology Audit, Streets LA. Y'all know he's got his stalker, Joey, who tried to take William Gu to court, be like, you elderly harassed and are stalking me. And now Joey owes all this money to the attorneys. And ever since that, Joey seems to would appear, just looking at the videos, stalking Scientology Audit, Streets LA. Well, they had another interaction because Joey is just the gift that keeps on giving. Let's look at this.
Guess what? I withstood him, and I said, I ain't gonna hit you. You got in a fight? I told him,
Joey, you're too old to be getting in fights.
Yeah,
stop getting in fights.
Because
You're always getting in fights with people,
No,
Joey.
I don't. No, I don't.
Joey,
Tell me one other time.
Oh, Joey, get away from me, please.
Tell me one up. See, you're lying again.
Can you please back
William,
up?
you're a naughty boy.
Look at him. Look at him. He's
William, you're a naughty boy. You're a naughty boy, William.
beating up again. Get away from me. Look at him. I feel
This is my favorite part.
threatened. I feel threatened. Stop it. Stop it. Get away from me. Can you get away from me, please? Can you get away from me? Can you get away from me? Can you get away from me? Joey, I'm just minding my business. I'm trying to have a smoothie, and you come up accosting me. Joey, back up.
And he's right. He's sitting there having a smoothie. He's not even out there where he was out in front of Scientology and protesting. Joey literally, I'm eating my own hair with the wind here. Joey walks up to him while he is a customer at a business, drinking a smoothie, minding his own business, and Joey comes up and gets in his face.
Joey, can you stop?
No, he's been fucking with me for the last 1.5 years. And the last thing, one of his followers took me, beat me up, took my knife, put my knife to my side, knife to my side, tried to kill me. This guy's friend.
Now he's claiming that one of Street's followers somehow is responsible for allegedly assaulting Joey. I don't know. I agree, Julia. Joey is stalking him. I mean, that's what we see when Joey shows up. It's not Scientology Audit Streets LA going, I'm looking for Joey today. Let's go find him. It does seem that Joey looks for him, and every chance he gets, he stalks and harasses him. Here he is just sitting trying to have a smoothie. Can someone not just have a smoothie? There's just like no peace when it comes to Scientology. Just sitting there trying to do his own thing, mind his own business. Now, the fabulous thing that happened here, though, which I absolutely love, is Dan Walks LA was outside the Hollywood Testing Center with that giant banner that Ham It Up Again made that they've taken out to the freeway overpass. Had that giant banner outside the Hollywood Testing Center. We're going to look at it that says Scientology abuses kids. And I just can't imagine how much Scientology loved this, but let's look. This was on Dianetics Day. I mean, look at that. Amazing. And then it's got Lara FM's handle and literally Surge as well. Scientology abuses kids right in front of Scientology Hollywood. And there's Dan Walks LA.
I wonder how Osa is feeling right now.
I can feel the energy. They're going crazy.
Because that guy, do you know his name? Anybody know his name yet? The older guy with the bone.
Who's here?
Yeah, like
no. But I've run into him before and didn't realize it. Looking at old videos, he's been out doing like the Dianetics tables and stuff.
Yeah, I saw some stuff downtown.
Yeah, but I don't know his name.
I just call him Randy. Because
Randy, get back in your car.
But yeah, no, he saw me out when I came walking up. He was out here, and he saw me, and he ran inside, but didn't close the door. And then when I came walking up, I wished him happy Dianetics. And
how are you celebrating?
Well, I mean, it seemed like they were very desperate to sell books today. They're desperate.
Oh yeah.
They've been desperate all week, and they haven't. These kids have terrorized them all week.
Yeah.
There have been many young people going into the Scientology Center, not because they want to find out about Scientology as in I'd like to join, but more in a trolling way. And there was a local school where the kids were assigned a project to research Scientology. And some of them actually have been going into the Hollywood Testing Center, and Scientology Audit Streets LA came up on some of those kids while they were in there and tried to warn them that Scientology is a cult, and you are not going to believe what Shannon did and what happened afterwards. Let's take a look.
Hey, get out of there. It's a cult. This place is Scientology. You don't want to be in there. It's Scientology. It's a cult. You just want to get out of there. Hey, Shannon, don't lock them in. Shannon, it's against the law to kidnap. They don't want to be. Shannon, you're locking them in. You're locking them in. I can't believe you, Shannon.
Yeah, we were kind of scared because we tried getting out and the doors wouldn't open.
This is the best part too, that he actually had a conversation with them afterwards with the students, and this is what they said.
Doors wouldn't open.
They wouldn't open, and we had to put a little force in there. Yeah. Well, we were just gonna ask about what they do, how they work.
This is for a school project.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're.
Yeah, they just wanted to find out, kind of get the deets for their project. And I don't think they expected to be locked in. But what an experience, because it really pretty much showed them this is what Scientology is. This is what people think about it. I mean, when you've got people out there with a giant sign that says Scientology abuses kids, and so many stories from those children who have grown up that have shared this, that are sharing this.
We're supposed to learn about Scientology.
Yeah. What do you think about the fact that she closed the door because somebody came over to ruin you guys?
I think
kind of weird
because it is a cult, so you have to be careful.
I searched it up. It's for like religion.
Yeah, because it also says everyone's welcome.
Yeah,
everyone's welcome except if you ask questions, then you're not welcome. And I'm like, let me stop by.
Yeah.
And I saw you guys in there, and quite honestly, most people that go in there now watch stuff on TikTok.
I know. I was like, yes, I know.
So what you did is good because you. Hey, get out of there. It's a cult. This place is Scientology. You don't want to be in there.
Their faces went so great. The one's surprised, but the other girl's already laughing because I have a feeling that she knows exactly who William Good is. So he showed up at the perfect time to let them know. I agree, Vanessa. Those girls are going to get an A+ on their project. I hope they use their interaction as well. Yeah, Jojo, there's a lot going on. There are so many more people that are showing up at different Scientology organizations doing exactly what Scientology Audit Streets LA, Jessica Palmadessa, Aaron visits Pat Harney in Clearwater, going by and then just, filming or saying hi and seeing what happens. It's happening all over the place. Club Brain Fog shared the other day that she was seeing that in San Francisco too. People showing up outside the org and doing just that to troll Scientology. It is fabulous. And people are making, some short form content, doing some reels or some shorts. And that's a great way because a lot of younger people do. And I mean, even me in my 50s, I like to just scroll reels and they can get some information about Scientology and see how and why it's a human trafficking cult. So I love that people are doing this. Let's take a look at what Jessica Palmadessa was doing in Hollywood at the Hollywood Testing Center. She was going to have a new strategy. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be like, every time she walks up, before she can get there, they are shutting the door and they are frosting the windows. They've got those automatic magic windows. So she had to go in costume, or she tried to see if she could catch them before they shut it all down. So this is Jessica Palmadessa. Let's take a look at what happened.
Every time I pass by the Scientology building, they shut down. And you guys have nonstop been telling me to go back into disguise. So today I'm going to walk up undercover and see if the all are welcome signs on the windows really applies to everyone besides me. As you can see, as I walk up, doors open and windows are unfogged. Say hi to Shannon. She works over 100 hours a week for only $47 weekly allowance. She is the hardest worker I know. Well, they're closed down now. Damn, guys, I really thought that was going to work. Every time I pass by the
Oh, Jessica is so funny, but no matter what costume she tries to use, when she dressed up as like that Holly Hobby kind of character, that didn't work either. I think, although there was a Scientologist that didn't recognize her, so maybe it did work to a degree. All right, now let's talk a bit about Hawaii and the erupting volcano. So a few days ago, We hopped in the car and we drove 2 hours to go to the Kilauea crater where there's the current eruption. And when we were there, it was, you could see, hold on, I'm trying to get in a more comfortable position. You could see, we could see a lot of steam. We got to see the crater. It is, Volcano National Park is a fantastic place to visit because even if you don't see an eruption of lava, you get to see the crater. You get to learn a lot about it and the history of it. There's a lava tube that we went to. I've been putting out some shorts about this, so check it out. And I also released a pre-recorded video. So if you go to my channel, it's under videos. In fact, why don't I always forget to recap my own stuff. Hold on a second. I'm going to pull it up for you. And then I need to remember to put it in the description of this video. But I want to show you guys that. Where was that? Oh, that's not the video. Did I do a short showing the lava tubes? No, it was my pre-recorded video. Here we go. So if you go under videos on my channel, and it's the Back to Aloha video, I am going to share, let's see what is in there that I wanted to show you. Okay, hold on. Let me mute this. And then, so I did a short of the lava tube, but I'm going to show you first, though, the volcano yesterday when it was erupting. So we were getting ready to go to, I think we were going to go to the beach, and someone went on, I think it was Feral Cheryl, and because you can go to USGS on YouTube and you can watch live what's happening with the volcano. And Cheryl took a look and she's like, she's erupting. It's erupting right now. So George and Aaron jumped in the car and did the 2-hour hike. The girls and I, we were like, yeah, no, I don't want to do another. You're in the car for 2 hours each way. And then you're in the car for like 5 or 6 hours. Still amazing, but I'd already been there. And I was just kind of done with being in the car for that long. But I'm so glad they went because it was so amazing. And oh gosh, they just loved it. Look, and wait till you see. This is just incredible. I mean, look at that. This was just incredible that they got to see this in person. It's funny because we were watching here. We had gone to the beach and we like to go look for shells and see the turtles and do all of that. Then we came back and we were watching Aaron's stream. So if you go to Growing Up in Scientology or Surrounded by Scientology, which is George's channel, they both live streamed from the volcano. And it turns out that this was actually one of the largest eruptions in, I think, was it in recent history, George, right? Wasn't it one of the largest that's happened? Yeah. So it's got one of the largest eruptions and they were able to see it. Phil Jones thinks he sees Xenu. I don't know. We looked all over to see if there were any body thetans, to see if, we could see any evidence of what L. Ron Hubbard said to be true. And I don't know. We did not. We did not.
That is shooting 500 feet in the air.
Wow. So that is shooting 500 feet in the air, George said. Yeah. Force of delightful nature. Totally amazing. And you can go to USGS here on YouTube, and they've got outstanding footage of it as well. They've created some shorts for the eruption, but at any time, you can go to USGS on YouTube, Kilauea, and then find what's happening with the volcano.
And today she's dormant. She's chilling out today.
Yeah, today, in fact, let's pull up. I thought I had a live. I have it pulled up live here. I'm going to pull that up for you guys so you can see it. USGS Kilauea. I'm going to show you what it's doing right now so you can really understand. Like, they could have driven. In fact, the volcano was erupting, and then they got in the car to leave. And I would say, maybe 20 or 30 minutes, 40 minutes into their drive, we were watching the volcano and it stopped. Because it's erupting doesn't mean it's going to keep erupting where you can actually see the lava flow. But by the time they got there, it had started up again, which was super cool. Yeah, the birds totally want to join the chat. That's part of why I thought I would do this outside so that y'all could hear the birds as well. So let's see. I'm going to show you also what the volcano looks like now. So at this very moment, let's see. If we go to USGS here on YouTube, this is a live feed of it right now. So this is what's happening right now. So they really caught it. There was a good window there. Because when you go, you don't know if it's going to be erupting or it's not going to be erupting. Sandy says, Scientology watching the eruption like, should we update the Dianetics cover? Yeah, they might want to. Maybe. Oh, that's funny, Robert. You went outside to check for the noisy bird. No, it's over here. Yeah, so what a difference a day makes, or even within the same day, because like I said, when they were on their way, it stopped. And then by the time they got there, this is what they were looking at. So absolutely amazing to see. And as cool as that would have been, I was happy to stay behind. We found some amazing shells at the beach. I'll probably make some shorts of that and share it. The sunsets here are just outstanding. In fact, let me show you. Do I have a sunset here? I got a video pulled up that I had already put up. We can see a few. I'm going to actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up the short so you guys can see. Let's see here. Shorts. There was a fantastic. Is this the Shell Patrol? Yeah, I'm going to show you this. Where am I? Present. So this was from the other day when we were on the beach that's across the way from where we're staying. And it's the most stunning place because you can see the sunset and you can see the moon come up as well. This was earlier in the day when we went out. There was a lot of winds, and so the shells, there were a lot of new shells on the seashore. That's a tongue twister. You can see we found a whole bunch. It was really windy. When the sun goes down, I mean, it's like 69 degrees has kind of been the low, but up at Kilauea, it was freezing. I don't even know how cold it was.
60 degrees.
Was it 60 degrees?
And raining.
60 and raining when George and Aaron went. But you can see this is like what sunset looks like. This is in Puako on this one beach across the way, and you can see, and it's in fact, I think, Cheryl, is today the full moon?
Yeah, tonight.
Tonight. So tonight is the full moon. This is the beach that we'll be on to greet it when we do sunset and be able to see the moon like that. I think this is my favorite spot. I think, yeah, I even probably love this spot more than I do the Mauna Kea beach because there's more shells and there's just more to see. So I think I like that more.
And it's our beach.
And it's our beach. That's right. We have adopted it. Force of delightful nature. Having someone reference LRH even as a dig would that help Scientologists think Scientology is expanding? Would that help? Have someone reference LRH as a dig? Would that make it? I don't know. I mean, you know, they don't listen if you're in Scientology and you see somebody making fun of L. Hubbard. You're not supposed to listen to it or continue to read it. But yeah, they would not like that at all. Sandy says Mormon starter pack, Bible, Book of Mormon, and a downline. Nice clap back to our earlier story about the Mormons and how they love their MLMs, it seems to be. Me and Taz, Natalie, have you seen Solomon? He's in Hawaii somewhere. I've not. Me and Taz, do you know what island he's on? If you know what island he's on, let me know. If he's on this island, we should figure it out. Robin Miners, has Aaron gained back his diet pounds? I don't know. He looks great, but we have been, well, I can only speak for myself. I've been eating probably more what would be considered junk food. I've been eating my weight in malasadas and other things. Julie O'Connor says, in regard to Scientology and Clearwater, absolutely the truth. They do own a lot of property. It looks like North Korea. Hashtag save the garden. I agree. And thank you, Jojo. You can go to my channel, go under shorts. I've done a lot of shorts of a lot of our experiences. I fly out to go back home on Thursday, but I won't get home till Friday, sometime in the afternoon. So I will do another recap. If I don't do it tomorrow, I'll probably try and do it Wednesday, but continue to try and do some other videos. A lot of the places we go, it's very, the Wi-Fi is spotty and the cell phone reception is spotty. So, but I'm trying to take a lot of video that I can share with you afterwards. Let's see, Skyfire, do you not have ash falls from the volcanoes? Where we are, we see a lot of what's called fog. So we see a lot of haze and smoke. We have not seen any ash where we are. And again, we are 2 hours by car from the volcano. But the other cool thing when we're at the volcano is they have like areas you're not supposed to walk. They really want you to stay on the trails for a multitude of reasons. It's a national park, but there are hazards, collapsing ground, rocks, aggressive ground wasps. Yeah, that's one. They have, we didn't see any, but it was one of the things they say to watch out for. So if you do go to Volcano National Park, you want to stay on the path. But off the path, there was all this shimmering gold. And we thought, oh, is it gold? Well, no, it's what's called Pele's hair. It's like from the volcano erupting, and it's like these little thin strands of like glass. You're actually not supposed to pick them up, which we didn't know until we picked them up. I had completely forgotten this. I was so excited to see it that we all started picking it up, but I think I'm the only one that actually got. What happens is, and you might be able to see it, it gets in your skin and it's just hard to get out, but it'll probably, I think my body will just push it out. We'll see. I'm sure it's fine. So we saw that. There was a lot of that going on. I saw somebody ask, did we do something for Mother's Day? We did. George made us an amazing breakfast that we really enjoyed. And we just spent the day. I was in my pajamas, I feel like well into the late morning, maybe even early afternoon. And we had some really good beach time. That's right, Phil Jones. Keep an eye out for any DC-8s flying overhead near the volcano, because DC-8s are what L. Ron Hubbard said took the alien beings from the other planet to the volcano here in Hawaii and other volcanoes and dumped them in DC-8s. Yeah, because that makes sense. Yeah, Julia, it is very hot. But okay, here's the interesting thing. It's hot where we are by the beach, but the temperature, the island of Hawaii, which is where we are, has multiple different climates. So when we drive to go to the other side of the island, we go up a mountain and then down again. And when we left, it was like 87, 88 degrees here at the beach. And during our trip to the volcano, I would call out the temperature. And I think 59 is the lowest that it got. And I think that might have been on the way back. And then we go down and we're back by the shore again in Hilo, and it was more like the low 80s. So you can have a temperature swing by 20, 25 degrees here on the island, even more if you were to go up to Mauna Kea, where it actually snows. So there are multiple climates. So you might see us in some photos where we're really bundled up, because it does get cold here. Not where we are by the beach, although, I don't know, 69, I still like to bring a light kind of a cover up. To me, that's still a little cold. But it can be like in the upper 80s. And then we go up to Waimea, which is also known as Kamawela. It's where we go to the farmer's market. It is 10 to 15 degrees cooler. So you'll notice that. You'll see that in our pictures and videos that we can be wearing jackets and pants, and then, of course, be in bathing suits on the beach. Bacon Bits, is Aaron still microdosing going to Costco, or does he go every other day like normal? I think he's gone twice. He wanted to go a third time, but I don't think it worked out. But almost daily, he asks us, does anyone need anything from Costco? We're kind of suspect it might be a problem. We did get gas from Costco. That's another tip. If you're here on this island, if in Kilauea, there is a Costco and the gas is $1.20 cheaper per gallon. Gas here, we've seen it from $5 to what, 4 something?
Yeah. $3.86 at Costco.
$3.86 at Costco, almost $5. Many other places on the island. I did not go into the Costco though. Phil Jones, it's so weird to think there's snow in Hawaii, but most don't know there's a ski resort 40 minutes outside Vegas. I didn't know that, Phil Jones. And yeah, that's so true. People don't think about that. And especially in my opinion, here on the Big Island is where you really want to plan for layers, right? You want to bring layers of clothes so you can take them off as well. I'm always freezing on the airplane. So I'm wearing like a sweater, a sweatshirt. I bring my own blanket. I wasn't cold this time. In Carnosol, you might be having Costco withdrawals. I am not sure. That could very well be. So if you go over to my channel under shorts, you'll see a lot of the shorts that I was talking about, where there's one with the lava tube and a lot of the other stuff that we've been doing. Emma, is that a thing? Costconon?
Alcohol Anonymous.
Oh, oh, I thought it was like the anime, like a anime thing you go to. Festival. It's a Comic-Con. Comic-Con. Yeah, I thought it was like a Comic-Con kind of thing. Is there really one of those for Costco? Force of Delight. Oh, I missed that. We clicked at the same time, Nancy. Aaron, Costco Anonymous. Yeah, that makes sense. Force of Delightful Nature says, I enjoyed Kona's Costco when I visited last year. So many local stuff that I don't see in mainland Costco. That's true. And that alone would be a good reason to visit it. But I really don't like crowds and big box stores. I like what I can get from big box stores. I don't like being in them. It freaks me out. I think it's because of the mall shooting that I was in years ago. Ever since then, big spaces, lots of people. No, thank you. I don't like it. Let's see. Jojo, ask Cheryl when she's out protesting next.
As soon as I get back.
So this Friday, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
She will be out there this Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So we leave the island on Thursday, but we don't arrive home until the next day. It is a very long trip back. I mean, it feels longer because you have to take a night flight and then you're like dragging your butt in an airport. And I don't sleep well on planes. Hey, Vicky Andrews. Good to see you. Haven't caught you live for a while. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm growing out my gray. Look at it. Can you guys see a close-up of that? I can't really see it, but it's growing out. And I think it's growing out pretty well. That's why I have my hair cut shorter so it can meet the gray. But my ultimate long-term plans is to grow it back out long again. But, with some kind of, it'll be more gray, white. We'll see. But thank you. Thank you for that, Vicky. And I'm glad you're here and you made a live. That's the fun thing about doing it at different times when I'm traveling. But when I get back, I'll be back at my normal time and doing more of my other content as well. Like I said, we don't get back till Friday afternoon. So I'll do a couple more lives before we leave. Then there's that long flight. Yeah, it's beautiful. It is brutal going back. It really is. But you can't complain. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you when you go home and are like, I'm still jet lagged because I just spent 2 weeks in Hawaii. Shut your mouth. Nobody cares. That's why I try not to complain. All right. So that is what I have for you today. Please do shoot me emails, timestamps, anything you guys see, because I'm not able to watch as much content when I'm here. I should reword that. I choose to not watch as much content when I'm here. Natalie at lifeafteroccult.com. Go ahead and send it. Keep watching. Do me a solid. Hit that like before you head out. There's George. Hit that subscribe. We'll get a little hello to Feral Cheryl.
Hello, everyone.
All right, everybody, get out there and have an amazing cult-free day.